Hi friends, it's me, Ali, your friendly neighborhood Chanel expert. And today we are talking about my signature Chanel makeup look using the new Le Blanc collection. But today is extra special because this is a collaboration with my dear friend, Angela Van Rose. You may be familiar with her. I think if you watch my channel, you watch her channel and vice versa. We do have similar taste and aesthetic, but at the end of the day, our execution is totally different. We have different styles. It's a bit confusing because we do have very similar taste in products and brands that we like, but just the way that we like to wear our makeup is very different. So I thought this would be a fantastic idea for you guys to enjoy both of our takes with the Le Blanc collection because it is such a popular collection and fingers crossed it's coming out in the US very shortly. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. Angela talks about Chanel a lot, just like me, but she also talks a little bit more about Tom Ford and Guerlain. She likes luxury brands just like me, and she has her series French for a Day, which is just this fun bit of fantasy that I think we all like to indulge in every now and then, which is really fun. And so we've done several collaborations in the past, and we just thought, let's talk about the Le Blanc collection. Now, Angela and I go back, way back. We've been friends for several years. We haven't met in person yet, one day, but we did spend like 3 hours on the phone last week. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Le Blanc collections, but then we're also just going to add our little spin. And I'm going to go ahead and just set my hair. I mean, my hair is a little bit in the way, and I have these fantastic clips here. This is a gift with purchase from my Chanel beauty advisor. So I'm just going to start with that because it's just very extra. I don't know if it's completely necessary, but you know what? I feel like being extra. And this one just has the little CC logo just to get the hair out of my face because it does get annoying when you're trying to do foundation and all that. So let's start with the palette. This is number 68 Délices. This is the eyeshadow palette that came out. Now, I have heard that this is meant to come out April 1st in the US. Hopefully that is not an April Fool's joke. How cruel would that be? Could you imagine? How terrible. So this is what the palette looks like. I've already created, I think 3 or 4 looks already with this palette here. I like to mix and match and just add my own little twist. And so this is just a continuation of that today. Now, in my humble opinion, I think that this palette here from Chanel 228 Tissé Cambon is the perfect spring palette. It's purple and pink, and the purple in here is much more intense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this purple and mix it with this palette here. Because in my opinion, I find that this bottom shade here, it's like this warmish, maroony, brown, red. I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it should be there. I think instead they should have added a darker, more intense purple. I know that this is a pastel palette, but I think that this little purple color over here would be better suited. So I'm basically going to create my own palette. I'm going to use this, but with this purple over here. As always, my makeup brushes are all listed down below. I'm starting off with this pastel purple over here, and I'm getting quite generous. I'm just going to go ahead and sweep this all over the lid, on the crease, in the crease I should say, and a little bit everywhere. It's going on the lid and a little bit everywhere. You don't have to be too precise with this step here. I really don't know what caused the delays in releasing the Le Blanc collection in the US. I'm in Canada, if you're not aware, and we got the release March 1st, I want to say, or just at the beginning of March. And I thought that the US would get it at the same time. We are neighbors. I don't know why there's a delay. Now going into Tissé Cambon, I'm going into this dark color here. And this is pretty opaque. It's not pastel. So we just have to be a little bit careful here. And this is going in the crease. And I'm going to try to keep a straight line like this instead of doing a half moon. I'm just cutting across like this, back and forth. Which part of the Le Blanc are you the most excited to pick up if you haven't picked it up? If you already own the new Le Blanc collection, let me know which is your favorite item and what you're using the most. But if you are still waiting to get it, let me know what you are the most excited about. Personally, I think that the blush is the essential part. It's the one that you cannot really skip. I mean, you can skip, of course. You know, if you have a budget, if you have like a no buy, low buy, don't buy it, of course. But if you are going to purchase it, I think that the blush is the item that's the most unique and the most special, in my opinion. I like the pastel palette, but I think that for me, the blush is the winning item. My lips are feeling a little bit dry, so I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of brand betrayal. I'm going into my Dior Lip Maximizer. This is the shade 006. It's this sort of plummy color, and it's going to lean into the purple look that I'm creating. I really like the maximizers. I have several different shades. They do have that minty tingling sensation that not everyone is a fan of. I personally really like it, and I like that they just add a little bit of color, and this is just going to lean into this whole plummy look here. Dipping back into Délice and the dual-ended brush here, I'm going back into the soft purple color from before, and I'm just going to pack it a little bit more on the lid. Now, if you wet your brush with some setting spray, the finish of this shadow turns really pretty. It's sort of more luminous and a little bit more pearlescent and more intense. I did this in a video recently, and it's really nice. So if ever you want to elevate your shadow and just transform it, use a little bit of setting spray and it really transforms the entire shadow and the entire look. That is it for the time being. I'm going to go into a bit of liner. So I have this liner from Chanel, the Crayons Yeux. This is not the waterproof line. This is the one that's sharpenable. You have to sharpen it. And this is the shade 77 Deep Purple. I think this one is discontinued for some reason. I don't know why. It's very pretty. It's a deep purple color that's going to lean into this. I think the Cassis shade would be a great dupe for this, but if you just have a purple liner, waterproof or not, I think that would just be ideal for this look here. So I'm just going to add a little bit on top here, some in the waterline as well, and then a little bit on the bottom lashes too. I like this one because it has a smudger on the side. So they still have this eyeliner collection. They just don't have this shade in particular. They have other colors. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, but they have other ones available. And I think they have, this one's berry? No, this one's deep purple. I think they have a berry one now, something like that. That might also work. Now for the mascara, I'm going into the base. This is a white mascara. It's basically like a lash treatment. And you may think that this is a step you can skip. If you want to, you can, but it really does make a difference. It just fortifies and boosts your lashes. And then I'm gonna go into the Volume de Chanel in black. But if you had a purple mascara, this would also be really cute. Moving on to my beautiful Baume Essentiel. This is the lilac shade. So there's two colors you can choose from. There's a pinky one and then this lilac one. At first I wasn't sure because it was like lilac skin tone. How is that going to look? But it actually looks nice. You can sort of see a little bit of the lilac hue, but it's not as intense. And I picked it up because it is so different than everything I already own. I have a couple of these in more traditional colors like gold and things like that. But I thought, you know, I really don't have this in a lilac color. And I swear when I put it on my forehead, you can sort of see the lilac a little bit more. But then when you blend it out, when you apply your foundation or whatever, it looks more normal. It doesn't just look like a swatch of lilac on your face. And I like to use these underneath my foundation or complexion product because I just find that it just looks more natural. And you can actually put this on your lips as well. You can apply it and it feels very nice and buttery. And you can see a little bit more of the lilac. I should have done that earlier. But you can actually see more of the lilac color, and it kind of looks like a frosted 90s mauve lip. It's really cute. For the complexion, I'm going to go into my Water Fresh tint. I don't know why, but I have this like little red splotch right here. I don't know why, I'm not a fan, but I'm gonna go into my Water Fresh tint in medium. This is very light coverage. It's very much your skin, but better. Just a little bit of blurring. I don't know how they did it exactly, but I'm also a fan of the Complexion Touch, which is this exact thing, but I believe it's 3 times the amount of coverage, which is really nice as well. So sometimes I wear that one as well, but even though I have a little bit of blemish poking through, that's sort of just life, isn't it? Now for the concealer, can you guess what it's going to be? As always, it's the Sublimage concealer in the shade 32. It has a little bit of like a peachy pink cut to it, so it really cuts any dark circles. Now this is one that I know Angela tried and she didn't love it for whatever reason. You know, sometimes we do have really similar taste, but also at the end of the day, we are different people and we live on like different continents. So our skin, the products that we love are going to be different sometimes because like she lives on the Mediterranean. I live in Montreal. She has oily skin. I have dry skin. So there are going to be discrepancies sometimes between the products that we both totally love. All right, let's move on to a little bit of powder. I have the Chanel Universal Loose Powder here. I have the shade 30. It comes in a wide range of shades, but you can also get one that's translucent, which is nice if you're not sure what to get. I love that it comes with a little puff, and what I like to do is just dip a little bit of product and powder there, and then I just use the puff. You can use a brush if you want, but we can agree that using the puff that says Chanel is incredibly extra. The 30 does have a little bit of color, so it's adding a little bit more coverage, but not that much. It's more just to, you know, set everything in place. And even though I put this powder on top, you can still see some luminosity on the cheeks where I applied the Baume Essentiel. So it's just providing a nice level of balance. And like I stated, I live in Montreal and I have dry skin, and this does not dry me out. So it's really a beautiful powder if you live in these types of conditions, or if you have mature skin, I think you would also appreciate this powder here. Now let's move on to the blush. One thing I totally forgot to mention, I think I mentioned it in passing, is that the blush comes with a little brush here, which I have never used. It comes in the box when you buy the blush. I'm guessing it works, but I don't know why. I just never use it. I just use the regular size blush brush for some reason. And so for me, in my opinion, I think that the blush is incontournable. I don't know how to translate that. Like that's the one that's unmissable. If you're going to get anything from the collection, I think that this is incontournable. And as you can see, I have been dipping into it and enjoying it and loving it. It's really one of those beautiful blushes from Chanel that's luminous. The packaging is exquisite. When I first got it, it was more pristine. So when you first get it, you have the CC on top, and in the back, it looks like tweed. And it's this fuchsia luminous blush, but fuchsia in a beautiful way, not in a tacky, flashy, clownish way. It's just gorgeous. And if you've been enjoying the Chanel blushes of the past from different releases, like there was the Chaîne de Chanel from Holiday a few years ago, and then there was the beautiful warm peachy one from last year. It was like the spring summer, basically all of those ones that look like a luminous blush. If you've enjoyed those, you would enjoy this. And I like that it's pink. It's just perfect for spring. You can just apply this instead of applying the Baume Essentiel and then this over top, but because it is Chanel, it's soft, it's subtle, it's buildable. Like, it's not invisible by any means, but I just mean that you can wear both without it being too much. See, just looks luminous. I wiped off the maximizer because I want to show you what the Baume Essentiel looks like as a lip color. It really gives me just this like 90s frosted mauve-y lip, and it's really pretty. See what I mean? Like, doesn't this look like it's out of a 90s magazine for like Delia's? Is that what it was called? So pretty. I don't think this is going to be my lip, but I just wanted to show it to you. And if you have the pink one, you could do something like this as well. For the lip, I'm going into something darker than my frosted mauve lip from before. This is the Rouge Allure Velvet. This is the new series that came out in January. And this shade here is 64 Eternal. And to me, this is a beautiful winter berry, a winter plum. And so I think that this will go with today's look. And maybe I will add a little bit of my purple plummy frosted lip too. Why not? I just added a little bit more of the lilac balm in the center of my lip. I'll see if I can do a bit of an ombre effect. So if you press just a little bit of the lilac lip balm on top of your lipstick, you're going to get a little bit of that pearlescent 90s vibe, but it's not as frosted and that light mauve look, but I think mixing them together is nice, and it also feels quite hydrating on the lips. But in order to complete our makeup look, we have to go into a final touch, a fragrance. So I'm going to go with Mademoiselle Eau de Toilette because I think that the Eau de Toilette is my favorite version of Mademoiselle. It's lighter, it has more lychee, it has more fruit. It's a bit sweeter. I love the Eau de Parfum as well, but I find that the patchouli sometimes is too patchouli-y on me. So I like the Eau de Toilette, and I love that it comes with a twist. This is like the travel purse size one. It's just so fresh, and you get the refills like this. Like, this is the fragrance, just goes like this. So I'm just going to imagine that I just hopped off the Paris metro and Angela and I are meeting for lunch. So I'm gonna go ahead and just spritz myself with this perfume. I'm guessing that she is going to wear Chanel Chance Eau Tendre. That's my guess. But if Angela doesn't wear the Chanel Chance Eau Tendre, then she'll wear the Mademoiselle in the pure perfume extract because she really likes that version. So this is my look today. I hope you are inspired by what you already have, by the Le Blanc collection. I hope I gave you some ideas. Please go ahead and give Angela's video a watch. Leave her a little heart emoji. Let her know that I sent you. If you've made it this far into today's video, leave a little purple heart emoji for today's purple inspired look. And like I said, go check out her video. I can't wait to see what it's going to be like. I think her look is going to be a lot lighter and more ethereal. I think she often creates lighter eyeshadow looks, and I think her lip, it might be dark because she often wears like really dark lips, like a dark brown. I don't know. Time will tell. We have to go ahead and go watch her video. So this is all I have for you guys for today. If you're new to my channel, if you're new from Angela's channel, hi, how are you? My name is Ali. I talk a lot about luxury beauty, a lot of Chanel. So I hope you take the time to subscribe. I talk nonstop about luxury makeup and Chanel and a lot of French luxury brands. So yeah, I hope you subscribe. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.